Hey guys, welcome back to your girl's channel. If you're not subscribed, go ahead and hit that button. Put your bell on so you can see all my uploads on time. Give a thumbs up if you feel like it. So this video is about my second pulmonary embolism, and so I didn't really expect to have one. I knew I was gonna have another one. I just didn't think it would be within like less than 2 years. Technically, it's been 1 year and 5 months since my last one. And from the last one, I have continuously been getting CT scan, MRIs, ultrasounds, and X-rays because I have a continuous pain on my left side that goes from my chest to like my mid-stomach. Sometimes if I get like too agitated, I feel the pain. Sometimes it could be if I'm too full or if I'm too hungry. And sometimes just for the heck of it, it will hurt. So, you know, I've been with shortness of breath for the longest. It's almost like some type of afterwards issues that a lot of people go through once they have a pulmonary embolism. And so I do have a small section of my left lung that it's technically dead tissue. And that was as a result of me waiting so long to get seen and get attended at the hospital or whatever. So, yes, it's been a crappy time after the PE. Not a lot of people know about this because, as y'all know, I don't really overshare information. But yeah, the pain is there, and so it happens, and you know, I just kind of like ignore it a lot of the times. Because aside from that pain, I do get my normal sickle cell crisis, which is also another pain in my body. And, you know, at this point, you sometimes think, okay, well, the pain is for this or that. I just ignore all the pain. Get busy doing something different. But anyways, so that last time it was on my left side. And I'm sorry, y'all probably hear my machine, my washer in the background. But this time it was after COVID. I was out of quarantine. I think it was like day 19 or so. And so the pain was on my right side this time. When I take a deep breath, it will hurt. It's almost kind of like if somebody's poking you, but in a painful way. So like I'll take a deep breath and then I'm like doing this because it's just very uncomfortable. They had me in a oximeter program measuring my oxygen and my heart rate and all of that. And so they had a nurse call me 2 to 3 times a week to check up on me and see what it all was like. And so I told her about everything that I had. I actually got like really heart pain or on my left chest like 2 to 3 nights before that. Got nauseous, lightheaded, saw like black dust in my right eye and everything. So the black dots. It sounded like I said dust, but dots. And you know, I was being active. I was reorganizing my cabinets or whatever. So then I was like, okay, well, let me lay down. And that's when I felt nauseous. I wouldn't throw up. I don't know what happened. Then I started reading like my oxygen and stuff. And I did see that my heart rate was like really low. It was like 59, which is not normal. Or it was getting down or whatnot. So I just was like, you know what? Let me just go to sleep. Went to sleep. The next day, the pain went away and everything was fine. But then 2 to 3 days later, I had that pain on my right side. And when she called me, I told her, I was like, about 2 hours ago, I started getting this pain. And so, you know, they could see my history and all of that. She advised me to go to the ER. I told her that I wasn't sure because if I go to patient first, they will do an X-ray since they can do CT scans and that will come out clear. And if I go to the emergency room and I don't have anything, then I'll be paying $500 to be seen for nothing. So I really expressed that because I am very familiar with how everything works. I do not like to just go to places where they're not going to be able to help me. And to go to other places where, you know, it's just basically I was taking a chance. So she really encouraged me to go and get checked out, at least to get reevaluated, to see if I had any like pneumonia or anything like that. So I decided after dinner I'll go. I went, and the nurse put in that I was in there because of back pain. Yes, my back was hurting, but it was hurting when I was taking a deep breath. They completely did everything wrong. The place that I went only had one doctor, and then a couple of nurses or whatnot. They didn't draw any blood. They didn't do any urinalysis. They didn't even do an EKG. It was like nothing. So the doctor didn't order anything. She didn't even want to do the x-ray. I told her about what happened with the nurse and the reason why I was there. And so because I kept pushing the issue, she was like, okay, well, we're going to do an x-ray, but I'm sure everything's fine because it sounds like it's just external. I said, okay, fine. She did the x-ray. She comes back, tells me everything looks good like she said, and that I'm good to go, that it's just probably COVID related. And with COVID, you are prone to have basically thoracic pain. She didn't say thoracic. She just said pain in the front and pain in the back. All of this is just thoracic pain. So it kind of made me upset because I expressed to her, and she could see my history with PE and my sickle cell history. It's the same hospital that I normally get seen with. And it almost like her attitude wasn't at all like inviting me to have a conversation with her or expressing any other way. So I just kind of shut down, and I was like, okay, I'll just go home, and if I get worse, I'll just come back, because that's technically what they tell you. So they dismissed me, didn't give me any pain medicine, didn't do any CT scan, they didn't want to do anything else. By the time I got back home, the pain got worse. So I tried to like go to bed and lay down, and I guess as I lay down, it just got worse. I couldn't breathe as much. So I called the nurse back. I called the ER, and I was like, if I go back, can they still see me or whatever? And they tell me that she's the only doctor in call, and that they don't know, at the moment, and that they don't know if she would do any more. So I asked them to give me information about the other hospital that I normally go get seen, but because sometimes the wait is so long, I was trying to avoid. And so anyways, I went to the other hospital. They did everything, the EKG. They were questioning me about my recent visit, which I had to explain to them that the doctor didn't do anything, and she technically just told me it was COVID related. They did EKG, blood work. They also did a urinalysis. The doctor was checking me for gallstones, my livers, my kidneys, and they did a CT scan. They didn't think that it was going to be a blood clot, but they still wanted to be sure. And it was so different with this doctor because he was listening to my needs, was making sure that I didn't go home stressed about wrong diagnosis. And so they definitely malpractice in the other one. So they were trying to make sure that I was good. They actually took 2 samples of urine. Comes to find out, I had a UTI, which if the other doctor would have done it, at least we could have found something out. I had a UTI. I had another blood clot on my right lung, which is why I was hurting on the right side. They put me on blood thinners for 3 months to make sure that I got seen and did a follow-up so that I can get the rest of the blood thinners for the other 2 months. And so it went fine. The stay was maybe 6 hours. They didn't recommend for me to stay with the 24-hour observation room like last time. And I didn't want to, because that day I was going to get tested. Me and my kids were going to get tested for COVID to make sure we were all negative. And I had an appointment. My daughter had an appointment with her doctor. So it was definitely an inconvenience. And I was like, yeah, no, I'll go home. As long as I get the medicine and I'm good and you think that I'm good, then that's fine. They didn't check my heart. They didn't do an ultrasound on the legs. So before, and I believe my hematologists have already tested for DVT, and I have not been diagnosed with DVT. So technically, the reason why my body is creating this blood clot is because of my sickle cell. So I went home, and obviously I'm still short of breath. I still can't do much. I feel like I got run over. I get pains on my front and on my back. Technically, my whole torso is messed up. Sometimes on my it even hurts on my lower back. And with blood thinners, you can't take any NSAIDs. So no ibuprofen, no diclofenac, nothing that I normally am able to take. So for the first 4 to 5 days, I was taking Tylenol for pain, and that helped so much, because I was still having that pain on my left chest, like almost my heart. Got a doctor called to make sure that I was fine, because I did complain a lot about that other ER. I even left a review on Google. I found the doctor, posted a picture of her. They did contact me, and I also did the survey that you do and filled out afterwards. But this definitely was a different experience compared to the last one because I did not wait so long. I went like 2 hours after I initially got the pain. Didn't put it off, you know. God forbid I would have waited, I could have never woken up, because it could have basically unlocked itself and traveled to my heart or to my brain, and that's how people end up dead. So I felt good. I felt like I could still manage and do my daily activities and take care of everything like I need to. So it's been rough. I am constantly fatigued. I don't know if it's due to COVID or the PE, because the last time with the PE, I was really tired, really fatigued. I couldn't do anything. Thank God, I feel so blessed that I'm able to take my treatment home and not be in the hospital. I didn't get any pneumonia. I didn't get anything like last time. So yay for me. I'm really excited. The bad news is I had my follow-up yesterday. Excuse me, and I was told by my hematologist that I am technically put on Xarelto for the rest of my life, which is not something that I wanted. I'm not even 32, and it's definitely kind of disappointing, you know, but it's just something that I have to learn to live with and live for the changes. So I definitely won't be able to take any NSAIDs for the rest of my life. I have to probably do, I can't do any aspirin. I'll probably only have to do whatever they recommend me, or it's available, because otherwise the medicines could have, you know, mixed up together. But yeah, guys, that was my second experience with a PE. I'm so glad I did not have to make this video longer to tell you about my hospital stay. I only had to deal with the ER, and they sent me home, and I'm better. Honestly, I was so happy that they was like, yeah, you can go home, because last time it felt like jail. Like, if you've never been in a hospital bed for more than 3 days, it's jail. It's like you can't do anything. You can't just get out the room. You can't go to the patio. You're stuck on a bed with a PCA, connected to machines, oxygen tanks, and all this stuff, depending on how severe your condition or whatever it is that you have going on. You know, so I can't do that. And last time I learned that you have to live life now. It was definitely an eye-opener. So yes, try to do whatever you can with your family ASAP. Don't leave it for later, and don't take people for granted. But yeah, so I'm here, I'm alive. That was my second time, or it is my second time. I'm sure the blood clot's still in my lung right now, because it takes some time for the anticoagulant to kind of like dissolve it. So that's the reason why I'm still having pains and feeling like I got run over. But again, I try to just ignore the pain and move on. I'm trying to also be active so that I don't feel super or extra like stuck on not being able to do a thing. I definitely have to be careful now with the anticoagulants. So if any of you guys know or are in anticoagulants for life and can just put a comment below telling me how to ease that, please let me know, because right now I'm just like, there's so much I wanted to do that could possibly be dangerous if I fall or hit something, and you know, I'm kind of afraid in a way. So anyways, that is how I survive another pulmonary embolism, and thank you for watching. Bye.